Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm taking care of some pest issues in my garden. Let's get to it. So look, a couple weeks back I did a video about something that was eating my new transplants that I had put out in the Ura garden. Well, today we take care of them. No, I'm not gonna beat them. I'm not gonna beat them with this. We're gonna make a low tunnel, and hopefully this will take care of the issue that I'm having with them eating the seedlings. Once they get big, they're good, but them tender little seedlings, they like them. And so hopefully I'll be able to prevent that in the future with this low tunnel. This low tunnel was sent over to me by Bootstrap Farmer, and this is the bender, okay? So I'm gonna use this to actually bend the pipes to make the hoops, okay? Yeah, let's just get into it. First thing I gotta do, I gotta mount this thing, and I'm gonna mount it right up there. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount this to this 2x4 here, and then I'm gonna mount this 2x4 to this post right here, and then I'm gonna brace these like this onto this post so that I can get a little leverage on it. With the diameter, I'm using 3/4 inch EMT. With that diameter, this setup should work just fine. This is concreted in, so I'm not worried about it moving. But if I were to be doing a bigger hoop house, which would require, I think it's 1.5 inches or 1.75 inches EMT, you have to put a lot more pressure on that, and so I probably wouldn't use this post, or if I did, I'd reinforce it another way to make sure that that I could put enough leverage on it. So let me get this mounted onto here first, and then I'll mount it on this post. All right, I got it up there. I think that's going to work just fine. They recommend for it to be at least 6 feet off of the ground, and so this is about 6, maybe No, this is more than 6. It's probably 6.5 feet off the ground. So that should be good for what I need to do. Now, the next thing I need to do is mark my EMT where I need to bend it. All right. So I laid the EMT down, and it's good to do this because look at what I noticed. These 3 aren't as long as those 5 right there, which comes out perfect because I need 3 that are going to stay this length, that are going to run the length of the low tunnel, and then I need 4 that I'm going to bend, and then I need 1 that I'm kind of going to cut in half, and that one will be the ends. You know, it'll be 2 pieces, and that'll cover the end pieces. So the first thing I need to do is for these 4, I need to lay them down straight. And then my little cheat sheet right here says I need to mark it at 22.5 from both ends, and then 46.5 from both ends. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make my marks, and those are going to be the places where I actually do the bending part like that. But I'll show you that. Let's get to it. All right, well, I got my EMT in there, and as you can see, it's sticking way out there. So you want that first mark, that 22.5, to be right there on the outside, on the inside of this right here when you bend it. Now, when you bend it, you're gonna bend it down, and you're just gonna barely touch this, or like leave it up over it just a little bit. You don't want to bend down on this because you will bend it right here, and that's going to mess you up. Okay, so just be careful, and when you bend it, just barely lay it in there, or just leave it up above it just a little bit, and you'll still be fine with that. It's better to not bend it as much than to overbend it. All right, so I'm going to bend it now. Nice and smooth. Just like that, okay? See, I didn't go all the way down. That's fine. Now, on this part, you want to slide this over until your line gets to the inside of that again. And this part, you want to be straight up and down. All right? You don't want this to be off center, because then your hoop is going to be, it's not going to be straight across. It's going to go kind of out, like kind of like that, you know? So you want this to be as straight as possible. Bend it down again, barely touch. And then now I want to take this all the way out. All right. And then I want to turn it around. So I need to make my mark show on this side as well. Let me do that. Now I'll put that up there like that. Go ahead and bring this down. I'm gonna make that mark a little bit longer. All right. And once again, I want to make sure that I'm straight up and down. And then I'm gonna pull this down. Just like that. And I'm gonna feed this through until my mark is right here. And then that's it right there. Now I'll pull this up. And I have my first hoop. Now, you notice the hoop is kind of out like that. That's fine. I'd rather it be like that than for me to overbend it, okay? Because, well, I'll show you when I go to put it together, all right? So that's the first one. And now I'm gonna bend the other three.
Living in the country, got a couple acres. I don't really want any neighbors. I could kick it in the woods for the rest of my days. I stay to myself cause I want it that way. Living in the country, I want it that way. Yeah, sitting on some acres, I want it that way. Yeah, living in the country, I want it that way. Yeah, I ain't got no neighbors, I want it that way. Yeah. We be ducked off in the sticks, yeah. Small town, everybody in your business. Strike a match and get lit, yeah. Too fast, how my mama say I'm living. They say them girls on Broadway will get you in trouble. I need me a Southern Belle that was raised in the country. Catch me in the honky tonk, not the club. When the weekend come, know we getting into something. Way out in the sticks, cause I want it that way.
All right, on this last one, I kind of wanted to show, once you're done bending it, see how this one's getting close to the ground? That's why they want you to be at least 6 feet off of the ground when you mount this, because if not, you're going to start hitting the ground, and that's going to make it extremely difficult, okay? So this height right here, I'm going to measure it real quick, and we're going to get a good measurement of it and see exactly how high that is off the ground. All right. So it is 5 foot 11.5 inches. So almost right at 6 foot. So if you put it at 6 foot, you're gonna be good. I think. I mean, I'm not gonna speculate on how low you can go. You could probably go a little bit lower though than this right here. But about 6 foot works good. I'm about 5'7", 5'8" on a good day, and I have no problem reaching it, at 6 foot. And when I have to initially reach it, I just have to get on my toes a bit, but I don't need like a stool or something like that. So 6 foot probably works good for most people. Actually, I'm gonna go 4 foot. I'm gonna cut this at 4 foot 4 inches. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, 4 foot 4 inches, and that gives me 2 inches of play on each end because this hoop is going to be 4 foot wide. All right, so let me get this cut. But before that, I gotta change out this daggone wheel right here because it is done. It is done. It lasted though. I probably had that same wheel for shoot over a year. All right, I got everything laid out. I got my end pieces laid out on the ends. These are my pieces that's going to run the length. I got all my connectors set out, and these connectors are pretty cool. They come just like this right here. So, I mean, they already come together and everything. So that's pretty cool. I'll show you how those work. And then I got all of my hoops over here. So right now I need 2 of these hoops. And then let me set you up, and so I can use 2 hands here. All right, now I got 2 hands. I can work it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put this connector up here on the top of the ridge, and then you're gonna take your middle pole and run it through. Okay, you're gonna leave about, I don't know, a finger's worth over there, and then go ahead and tighten that down. You kind of want to tighten each side down a little bit, you know, at a time, and not like tighten one all the way down, so that way you get kind of even tightness on it. All right, let me get my. All right, this is a. Oops. So this is a 9/16. All right, so now I got it. It's secure, and now this end, I can have up. Now I can put the other end up. It's going down there. All right. Now it's real cool that they put these all together, but the problem is when you go to put this on here, you got to take that off. You can't put it on like that. So let me take that off real quick. So whoever put them all on there, I appreciate that, but they they put them on there wrong. Okay, well that one fell down, but I think we'll be all right. All right, so this goes right around there. Oops. Goes right around there like that. I don't know if y'all can see me or not. All right, now that I got that turned around the right way, I can just slide this pole right on through there, and then let me tighten this down, kind of do both sides. There you go. All right, so now that side's up. Now let me go down this end and sit this up like that. Already ready, Freddy. Yeah, okay. So now that that's up, I need to do my middle two, okay? Now, I should have measured it beforehand, but I'm gonna come right off of here. $114.5. No, you know what? Let's go all the way to the end. I think 41 inches will do it. 41 is about right there. Make me a little mark. And then 41 is about there. And what's that? That's about 38. So let's do 40. Do 40 inches from that side. And then we're going to do 40 inches from this side. And then in the middle, we got 40 inches. All right. I'll X those two out. So now, let me bring over my other two hoops. I'm going to put one on that side and one on that side. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Let me take these off. Actually, yeah, I still got to take them all off because this got to turn around this way. If this didn't have to turn around, if they didn't have it on there like that, if they had it on there like that, I wouldn't have to take all these off. All right, well, I went all the way around and turned all of these around so I don't have to keep stopping and doing it every time. So now I have this on here like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move one of these over to the other side. And I'm going to slide that on through there like that. See, if it was already like this, I could just do that, you know, and just run it through there. But since I had to undo all of them and flip that around. All right, so I'm going to do that all the way down. I'm gonna go ahead and mark these at 40 inches so I know where I'm at. All right. All right. That's down here. All right, now I'm gonna tighten these middle ones up first since I know where they need to be at. All right. Now on the end, I'm gonna come all the way out till I can put my thumb between that. Actually, ouch. Okay. Let me get that in down there. All right, so I got this side on there. And now when you watch the Bootstrap video, which I will link it below, they tell you to watch your fingers so you don't pinch them. Yeah, watch your fingers because you just might pinch them in there. But let me get this other side done. So before I get to the other side, I'm going to show you right here. I messed up. You see this? This is on the outside. It needs to be on the inside because you don't want it to rip your plastic or whatever you put on the outside of it. So I got to flip that around. All right, so I am going to mark these 2 inches from the end because I want my hoop to be 48 inches. Now, even though, let's say this is out here like this right now, even though you could use a longer bar here and connect it across, it's not made for that. Okay, when you use that hoop bender that I have, it's made for a 4-foot wide low tunnel. Okay, or whatever it is that you're making with it, but it's made for 4-foot wide, not 5 foot. Like this is probably 5 foot. Yeah, it's 5 and some change. Yeah. It's not made for that. Okay, it should have some springiness against it. Okay, and so the way to do this with one person, you're going to want to grab yourself a ratchet strap. All right, and you're going to take the ratchet strap and run it around one side, and then you're going to take the other end and run it around the other side so you connect here in the middle. Let me get this back around here. All right, so you're gonna pull it tight, about like that. All right, look at that. So let's talk about a few things. This right here, if you notice, all of them, the curved part is on the outside. These are on the inside because you don't want to rip nothing. Oh, daggone it, I did that one backwards. I gotta fix that one. All the rest of them look good. They're all to the inside. These right here don't matter. The ones in the middle, I mean, they matter. They got to be pointing down, but they don't matter, to be turned either way. But on the ends, you want this to the inside, not to the outside. And just like on the other end down here, you want it to the inside. You want this to the inside. Another thing that I noticed was that this middle part was bowed out a little bit. So I went on ahead and put a ratchet strap on it, and I'm gonna leave that on there for a little bit until the memory, until it the form kind of stays the way it is, and then I'll be able to release that. So I don't think it's necessary. You don't have to do it, but I got to do it. So so let me fix that down there, and then we'll get this over into the garden. All right, I'm gonna put this insect netting over it right now, and call it a day. My my phone done shut off on me a few times, and so this is taking a whole lot longer than what it normally should. I think that one person by themselves, maybe 45 minutes to an hour to put it up. If you got two people, you can easily get it done in 30 minutes. But I got to deal with this phone and overheating and battery running out, and so it's taking me a little while. All right, there she is. So on the ends, I took and put some clips on them. Okay. Just ball them up a little bit, put some clips on them. I got sandbags. I'm gonna put some sandbags down over here. Here along the side, I'm gonna lay one of those 8-foot T-posts down there, and probably put some sandbags down through there as well. On the back as well, I'm gonna put some sandbags. And my plan is I'm gonna open it from this side over here. So all I have to do is take off those bottom two little clamps and kind of fold it up, and I can get down in there and work. So in a video coming up soon, I'm going to be planting back in here again, but I got to fill up some sandbags first, and then once I fill up the sandbags and I can totally secure this area, then I'll go ahead and plant in here again. I also have a I was about to call it sunscreen. Oh man, it's been a long day. This right here is shade cloth. Okay, so when I don't know, I may use the shade cloth, I may not use the shade cloth, but the shade cloth can go right over top of this. Okay, you can also, like in the fall or winter, you can put greenhouse plastic over top of this. Okay, and you can also put frost covering on top of this. So this one structure right here can be used 12 months out of the year. Okay, you just change what you have on top of it. So well, I'm gonna get off here. I want to thank Bootstrap Farmer for sending this kit over to me. If you want to try out the kit, I'll be linking it below. Check it out, see if it's something that you could use in your garden. These are it's going to be 10-foot long. So if you have, a small garden, or if you have a raised bed that's 10-foot long, 4x10 is a size that I use a lot. So you could actually put this over a raised bed and just attach it to the raised bed, instead of having the EMT down the sides. You could just attach that straight to your raised bed if it's a wooden raised bed, but also what you could do, if you wanted to make this kind of semi permanent, you could put what is it called, rebar. You could put rebar down in the ground, leave yourself maybe a foot up, and slide this over top of the rebar on, put one on that side, one on that side, and then you still, you wouldn't need those bottom two EMTs. You would still need the top. I think the top kind of ties it together. gives it more stability. I mean, this thing it's stable. It ain't going nowhere. So there's all different kinds of ways that you can do it. I chose to do it this way because I want to make it mobile, and so I can just come over here when I want to, grab it, pick it up, move it out of the way, use it somewhere else. Yeah, you know, so, but if you had like some 100-foot rows or something like that, and you wanted to do a whole row, you could do that. You know, I would stick to no longer than 20-foot sections because they do get kind of heavy, you know. This is a 10-foot one and it's not heavy at all, but I could imagine that a 20-foot one would probably be pretty heavy. So I wouldn't go longer than 20 foot, but you could do 16 foot. You could do 15 foot. You could, you know, if you're garden, like my garden up there, those rows are about 16 feet, maybe something like that. So I could make one of these, you know, 16 foot and, you know, make it customized. So it's 100% customizable. I'm definitely going to be getting more of these and setting them up. And plus, so my 4-foot bender, now that's a little cost up front, but after you buy it, you don't have to buy it again, and you can keep making these over and over and over again. Now, I'm going to make some chicken shelters that are 10 foot wide. So I'm going to have to get another bender that's for 10 foot. And yeah, so I'm going to make some chicken shelters out of it when I do my area back here that y'all know I've been talking about and whatnot. So definitely I'm going to be adding more of these onto the homestead. Anyway, I'm tired, y'all. Let me get off of here. And I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to stay hydrated. Woo-woo. Woo. That's some good stuff right there.